Back by popular demand, pardon the messy bench. That's how you know I'm getting stuff done. So this is going to be a video on the installation of the barrel hardware for a FMP HK21 style barrel. So I had this barrel here just fresh out of park, all handsome, okay? We got a couple of different components. You've got this clamp or this collar, right? This is your sheet metal piece. You have the actual plastic barrel handle. You have an aluminum, I presume this is an insulator. This is, or a heat shield for the handle. You have your flash hider. You're gonna have two of these Allen key, or Allen, like socket head cap screws. And that's the correct terminology. What these ones for. Okay, so that socket head cap screws. We've got these nuts that go on the opposite side that have flathead features on them. This is your barrel handle retaining screw. This is also a clamp. So this guy goes through the barrel handle itself, and it actually rides on the outer edges, these circles there. But that doesn't really matter to you. We have a pivot pin. Let's see here. Yeah, you got your latch assembly. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. Which has a bushing, it has a spring, and has a pivot pin. Okay, or an axle, however you want to call it. So one of the things that we want to be careful of here is if this gets, as this is going to get stretched open and stretched closed, or compressed closed rather, and you want to be careful that you don't crack it. So we'll be kind of ginger carefuling when we do this. And you want to get it oriented in the correct direction. So you have this cut notch here that is going to go towards the chamber end of the barrel. So this is your chamber, this is your muzzle, okay? This right here is where this piece is going to lie. Actually, we'll use that one when we're finished, okay? So that part actually lays in here, okay? So I'm going to take this guy, I'm just going to ginger carefully and spread it, okay, just enough. And then if you see this slot for that piece there, I'm going to try and get one of these edges to ride in that slot. And you're going to kind of, you know, it's going to get spread apart, but I'm just trying to minimize the amount of spreading that has to take place, okay? So now I have it on there. One of the things that'll kind of fuck you on this is if you you put it on the wrong direction, then you got to spread it back apart, and then you got to clamp it back down, and then you're going to fuck it up. So you'll end up splitting your sheet metal clamp, and you're going to be unhappy. Okay, so then you have this piece, right? This guy is going to drop into here. Okay. Then what we're going to do is, now you see that there's a little notch on the bottom, or a little tab. That's going to go into the notch on the barrel. And they're going to squish these halves together. Then I have a tool that I made for doing it. It's a spanner tool. So it has that little slot that's cut in the end, and then you have these little tits that sit on the end of that. And we're going to take, even though it's probably hopeless, put a little blue Loctite on here. I've never had this shit come loose. You know, knock on wood or whatever. But we'll just do this in the, you know what, that thing. That's a scuzzy looking bolt. What am I doing? Trying to send my customer garbage? What's the matter with me? Devil's in the details, gentlemen. The devil is in the details. Clean that up. I'll go somewhere else. All right. So, come back. There. Okay. And just throw this over here so that remains a complete set. Okay. Now your larger side goes through this hole, right, with the nut, right? So the nuts go on the back side. And then your bolts are going to come through the top side. Just drop them in these though. And this is a 4mm metric socket head cap screw. Actually, this is a, I can't remember what you call these besides a specialty screw. It's countersunk, but I couldn't tell you the name. All right. Before we squeeze that down too much, we've got our latch. the latch has a bushing on the inside, and then we also have a pin. And so if I can, what I'll do is I'm going to slide this down in here first, and then I'll kind of squeeze it together. We may not be able to just because of yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. So just go back. All right. Got my special tool. I generally try not to rotate the tool around. You could do this with a flathead screwdriver if you need to. Actually, I may just be able to press it. Yeah. Okay. So we got a good enough friction there that I can actually just push the bolts from the backside, or the nuts rather. All right, and it will just torque itself down. Eek. There we go. All right. Okay, if your hardware assembly hasn't already showed up more or less put together, it'll look like a bushing and a latch and pin. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bushing, we're going to put it inside the latch, and then our spring is going to go like this. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So if you see the legs are going to go backwards like that, that's going to put pressure up against that little block that we put in here. Okay. Ist das richtig? No, that's bullshit. That thing's been misinstalled. No, sorry. Flip it over. Okay. Yeah, that didn't look right. Okay, so your legs are going to basically go in alignment with the latch there, or they're going to be going the same direction. Okay. Now you take that, squeeze it up there, get it in position, and then I guess you probably could drop the pin here. Grab the pin first. Okay. Okay, so our pin's in place, our latch is in place. You can tell it works because it stays tight. We're going to take our heat shield. I'm pretty sure that's what that is because this is plastic. So you got plastic, you got a barrel handle that's going to get to the temperature of the sun. So best we just have a heat shield there. Okay, you have two of these washers. You can do this before or after. Maybe. There we go. And those are going to sit inside the heat shield. Probably best to do it before, but here we are. Learn from my mistakes. In the words of Les Claypool, they can't all be zingers. I don't even know if that was Les Claypool, but it was Primus. So there you go. Okay, and then put a little bit of blue Loctite on here. It's kind of superfluous because this is going to get hot and we're going to stake it, but old habits, you know. Okay, this becomes a little bit tricky. This is the old double under deal here. And usually these things have been staked, so they'll be a little bit stupid to work with. Particularly trying to get them off. So go back to the original stake point. Why not? Okay. Now, if you want to be real cool about all this, come and grab your little punch. Where is my little punch? Here we go. That's the guy. It's really more of a center punch. I promise I'm actually doing it. I'm just doing it off screen. I'm trying not to disrupt the whole camera situation here. So, all right. I just basically went to the same punch position, or where it had been staked, technically is the term, where it had been staked before, and just doing the same thing over again. Last but not least, most important part, putting the old flashlight on. And that's it. That's your barrel handle assembly or installation instructions. Something that you can keep in mind is when you bend these out and then you clamp it back down, what can happen is the metal can be deformed, and it may help to go put it in a big fuck off vise like what I have over here, and you just squeeze the outside. The reason why is depending on who built your 21 and how whoever built it did it, or if you do it yourself. If this is pressed out or if it's proud of that barrel surface, it can rub on the caulking tube area underneath inside of the shroud, and that'll cause interference, and it makes you think that your shroud's not straight. Your shroud is straight. So it's just things had to be sorted out. So there you go. And that's pretty much it.